It's a beautiful day for a ride. I love finding roads I've never been on before. Doesn't happen very often in this state. I've covered most of the ground in the great state of Ohio. In today's video, we're going to be talking about self-care and why it's so important. You know, fourth quarter, we're here in the beauty of fall, and as holiday time comes around, we get pulled in different directions by friends, by family, other obligations in life, and for me, one of the heavier obligations tends to be work. And so when the going get tough, the tough get going, and part of that means that you got to practice self-care. So I figured I'd share a list of some of the things that I do to take care of myself, especially during these busy times of the year. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. If you are checking out another one of my videos, thanks for coming back. If this is your first time, welcome to the Unbound Nomad. My name's Phil, and I put out a new video each week. I'm pretty blessed to get to live an adventurous life, and I post videos that just kind of coincide with my lifestyle. Sometimes this is tips and tricks or product reviews. Sometimes it's repairs when things break down. Other times we might just get to go for a ride and talk a little bit about life like we're doing today. So I want to talk about self-care and why it's important. We live a very stressful life, busy work week, social and societal obligations, familial obligations. All of these things take their toll and draw us in different directions and put us under varied levels of stress along our life. And if we don't take care of ourselves, it's really easy to find that stress overtakes us and can lead to things like, heart problems, blood pressure issues, mental health issues. All of these things happen. And it's just so easy to lose sight of the importance of self-care. So I thought it'd be good to talk about some of the things that I do when it comes to self-care. It's not something I'm very good at. I have to work at it regularly and make a conscious effort to exercise self-care regularly. But I do try. It is an ongoing battle. It's something that, I kind of fall off the wagon for a while. And so I wanted to share some of the things that I do to take care of myself. One of the first things that I think about when it comes to self-care is getting enough and getting quality sleep. Both of these things are very important. I don't do either very well. Sleep has been a weakness of mine the majority of my life, but sleep is incredibly important in terms of taking care of oneself. 8 hours of sleep is recommended. I don't know that I've ever gotten 8 hours of sleep in my life aside from when I've been ill. For me, it seems like 6 hours is about enough for a really good night's sleep. But having good quality sleep is, I think, even more important than the amount of sleep that you get. Making sure that you are actually resting and are able to recoup from the day that you've had. That's the whole purpose of sleep, is to allow your body to heal. And if you aren't getting quality sleep, being one that's had 30 years of insomnia under my belt, I can really safely say that getting quality sleep actually matters at least as much as the amount of sleep one gets. The next tip in terms of techniques that I use for self-care is going to really tie into eating right. And this is something, again, that I really do struggle with. I try to make better choices when I'm out. I try to eat at home a little bit more often. I try to eat good whole foods instead of processed stuff, but like I say, it's a real struggle for me. But it's not just eating right ties into your ability to get quality sleep. If you've ever eaten like a lasagna or something late at night before you've gone to bed, maybe you've had some nightmares or something, and that ties into, you know, the physiology of eating before you go to bed and a chemical reaction. I'm sure there's a scientist that could tell you why stuff like that happens, but it's a thing. And not only does it tie into your ability to sleep or the sleep that you're getting, but eating right ties into, you know, just your general gut health. And if you have a happy gut, then the rest of your body will tend to be happier. If your gut is unhappy, then you're going to find a lot of other symptoms and issues tend to follow along with that. So if you can eat well and take care of your insides, then that's going to reflect a little bit better on the outside. You know, now that I'm sitting here going through this list in my mind, I just realized how much all of these things really do tie in together. But number 3 on this list is going to have to be exercising. And again, something that I have felt the tolls of. I'm really falling off the wagon from. So one of the struggles for me when it comes to exercise is the fact that if I don't enjoy the exercise, I have a real hard time keeping up with it. But I've found in sports like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that I've been training for a couple of years now, that really brings the physical and mental peace into my life that makes me a happier and better person. So staying fit and taking care of your body on the outside really directly correlates with the other 2 things that I mentioned of, you know, feeding yourself and getting good quality sleep. Because, I mean, if you're not taking care of the inside, again, the outside's going to have a heck of a hard time keeping up. Tip number 4 on this list is going to be being sure that you have some kind of hobby. You know, you got to exercise your mental health. And I'm talking specifically in my capacity that I tend to struggle with these things most when work gets overly busy and I don't have time for my hobbies. But as you can see, I do have quite a hobby. I love to be on my motorcycle, and honestly, 30 minutes on the motorcycle is better than an hour in the therapy couch or the massage table. I get so much out of a motorcycle ride like we're taking here today that I can't really even put it into words. It's amazing. Anybody who knows me and sees when I go through a really hard day, and then after I've come back from a ride on my bike, can tell you that it's like Jekyll and Hyde, 2 completely different people. And so, yeah, having a hobby and doing the things are important. I know a lot of folks that take up hobbies, and then after a while, the hobbies just kind of sit on the shelf, and that's okay. But it's also important that you allow yourself time to enjoy life. Again, we get so caught up in the rat race. We get so wrapped up in our daily lives and the responsibilities that are put on us by family, by friends, by work, by all of these things, that it's so difficult to remember ourselves. And so I just encourage you to remember that you have hobbies. If you don't have hobbies, go get them. And make sure that you keep up with them, especially in times when you need them. Tip number 5, pet the dog. If you don't have a pet, go find one to pet. Dogs, cats can really help lift your spirits and give you some of the joy in simple things in life again that are so easily lost to humans. You know, I'm fortunate to have a really awesome companion in Ranger. I don't think he's made any appearance on these videos yet, but I'm sure he will before too terribly long. But you know, having a dog to come home to is really just so heartwarming. They're always happy to see you. They're always thankful that you're around, and they are always hoping to make your day better. You know, when I come home and I'm in a good mood, he just makes me so happy and just want to play. When I come home and I'm in a bad mood, much like being on the motorcycle, a little bit of time with my dog, he lays this big old brick head in my lap, and I just forget about all of the other troubles that were worrying me in the world. Something else that really helps when you're talking about self-care, item number 6 on this list is going to be to get outside. You know, go take a walk. Get out in the fresh air. You don't have to necessarily hike, but just go walk around the block. Walk through the park. Take a walk with your family. And take a moment to remove yourself from the craziness that society puts us in and just enjoy the leaves on the trees. Enjoy the wind as it's blowing. Enjoy the time with whoever you're there with. Being outside can reinvigorate our love for life, can remind us, again, some of the simple things that are so easily lost. And the fresh air is almost like a drug. Not to mention, we get lost in this world where we're always connected to a screen. But getting out into this, and look at these leaves that we're getting to see in this ride today. I mean, some of the views that we've picked up just through this rural bit of Ohio, it's just gorgeous. And you're not going to see stuff like this on the screen. I mean, you might, but it's not the same. You see the moon in a picture, it's never the same as what it looks like in real life. So tell me, what do you do to take care of yourselves? How do you practice self-care? I'm curious because I think everybody kind of has their own thing and their own way of doing a lot of this stuff, and I'd really love to hear. So please post a comment. Let me know how you handle things. You know, however you do it, I guess it doesn't really matter. What does matter, though, is that you are listening to your body and that you are taking the time to practice self-care when the time comes. It happens for all of us. You're not invincible. We all run into these periods where we need help. We need help from others, and we need to help ourselves. We need to be able to identify when those periods come and to give ourselves the attention and the love that we deserve. You know, this isn't so much a tip about self-care, but it is something that I think is very important. When it comes to self-care, you have to know when it's time to exercise it, and you have to schedule that time and guard it ferociously. You can't allow people to encroach on that time. We have to remember how important it is that we're taking care of ourselves, because we're no good to anyone if we aren't healthy and able to accomplish the tasks that are given to us. Anyway, I just wanted to talk with you about that stuff today. You know, self-care is important, you're important, and you can't really do much anything if you don't take care of yourself. So just remember these things. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've gotten to enjoy some of the view while we've ridden and talked about this stuff today. It's been a fantastic ride out here through the farm country of Ohio. I'm going to be hanging around this great state now for probably a couple more months, so we'll probably have some nice fall and early winter rides to look forward to. Again, if you like this video, please give me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you've enjoyed what you see, and I'll look forward to seeing you around.